Hi, living in Boulder, Vlog, October 20th, 2019, Sunday, 4:35 p.m. So I was working until like 8 or 9 this morning, and then I slept. I felt like I slept too much, and then I got up and I was working a little bit. Oh no, sun's coming, but I have the shades tilted right. If the shades are tilted like this when the sun's going down, I don't get hit by the sun. But if the shades are tilted like that, the sun will get me. So, anyway, okay, so yesterday when I did my video, I'm kind of losing my train of thought. I think I'm kind of high. Yesterday when I was doing my video, when I did the video yesterday, it was before I actually had the time to work on the body. So I didn't know what it looked like of my US law code. I only built the first menu. That took like a whole day. So I was all cocky and thinking I could finish it and stuff really fast. But I'm actually still on title 2 out of 54 titles. I think I started yesterday working on the menu, and then so I didn't work all day long on title 2, but I think it was most of the day. And I'm only on, I think, 46 now out of 54 on that. Title 2 has 54, and there's 54 titles. But, and then there's other ones that are bigger. It's because they're huge. They go on forever, and there's gazillion laws. I mean, I could make another level or another couple of levels of, menu. I'm not going to, though, because it's not consistent. So when I build the menu, the final menu, it's going to have menus within menus in the menu, which I've done before. But, I mean, if it takes all day to do a title that has 50 chapters, then I'm looking at like a month just to build, just to link, and not link, create the anchors. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm creating all of the anchors on the body so that I can link to them all individually after. So, I never did that before. I'm on title 2, and there's actually the body on that, and I didn't build the body for the whole law code. I don't know how many titles in I went before I gave up on that and just started working on the chapter titles. But I it's oops, lost my train of thought again. I got confused again yesterday. Like a mind civil war. I was talking about having that problem with my religious statistics page. There were different ways that I kept contradicting myself. I had the statistics and I wanted to consolidate them, but then I realized I wanted to have it so that they go descending in order of percentage. And so I reprogrammed a bunch, and then I had to do it again. And that's actually what happened the other day. The other 2 days ago or yesterday, I was saying that on Title 33, it wasn't matched with the way that the government writes it. They have Chapter 5, and then they have Chapter 5A, and different ones like that. And so when I looked at this, I saw that I didn't have it as Chapter 5A. I had it as Chapter 6. And for some stupid ass reason, see, I always underestimate my how smart I was in the past. I always think that I overlook stuff when I don't, because I don't remember the decisions I make. So I looked at it and I said, well, no, that has to be 6. So I redid the whole goddamn chapter title 33 in the titles, and I made them. It had like 54. It was another one that had like 54, and I numbered them and colored them from 1 to 54, and then I even attached the links to the whole thing. And then I got to Title 2 and I saw the same thing happen. And I said, wait, why is is the same thing happening to the entire? So I decided to take a look at the um, law code on the Cornell site. And I looked at Title 2 and I saw how they had it organized, where it was just like that. They had like 9, and then instead of going to 10, they have 9B. And I'm like, all right, whatever, I can do that, 9B, whatever. I'll just reprogram. I'm like, damn, I have to reprogram the whole goddamn um, law code. And so I go down, but then I see that it skips to 65. And so all these A's and B's they were making, they were counting as titles, and then they made the other one big. And I was like, okay, so this isn't compatible with my style, because my style has to do with numbering everything. And so I have to number them. So I have to break. And when I looked at it, I was like, why did I break from how they do it? I want to make it I want to make it consistent with how the government has it, so that people know what the hell I'm talking about. And so that's why I didn't want to break. But then I was like, wait, no, no, no. The way that they do it is fucked. So I have to. And so I have to go and reprogram Title 33 again. So there's an example of me. I made a very decisive decision and I totally spaced it. And so then I went back on it. So anyways, I'm glad I don't have to go back on again. And to reprogram Title 33, I mean, that's not that big of a deal. By the time I get there, I'll be, on enough of a roll that I'll just barrel through it and fix it real quickly. But I can batch edit the links. It's not a big deal. So probably the most time consuming would be the colors. But anyway, it's just 54 of those. But yeah, so I'm still working on Title 2, and which is Congress, and the time consuming thing is I'm making the links, but I'm also having to title it for some reason, like with the numbers. For some reason, I didn't have the numbers right, and I think maybe that was because when I built this last year, it's about exactly a year ago. I was working on it for like a month or something like that. I just, on a whim, I just suddenly said, "Oh, title U.S. law code." But when I built it, it has more depth than any of the other books that I have. All the other books have a maximum of 2 menus, but this one has like 3 or something. I was having to put the colored, menus inside, and so it was a different design. I didn't have a template for it on my little template page that I made. And so this had to be the very first version of it, which means that I have to do everything. I have to label all of the numbers for all of the little chapters and mini chapters, and then I have to color it and I have to link it. So that's what I'm doing, because I didn't do it before. And that's why it's so time consuming, because there's so many of them. I don't know how many of them there are, but we'll find out. I mean, by the time I'm done, we'll know how many laws there are and how many pages there are and how many pages each law is. It's going to be awesome. But I'm not going to be able to power through this in one push. I mean, I'm going to take a whole month just to do what I'm doing, trying to get through these 54 law codes and, titles, and create the anchors for them all and the body page. That's going to take a whole month, at least. Because some of these titles have 200, and so if it takes me a day to do 50, that's 4 days just for one of them, and there's like a bunch of them, so it could take me more than a month. So I'm not going to finish, but I'd like to finish this push, though, the creating the titles, because then I can go and batch edit the links on the menu that you see that's there now, and I can make it so that when you click those, it'll take you to what you click on the first level. So that's what I want to do. So yesterday I wasn't really listening. A lot of time I wasn't listening to anything. A lot of time I was listening to music. But, it takes too much of my concentration to get it right with the numbers, because it gets confusing, because they go in deep. I've got like 5 or 6 numbers at some point where there's lots of them, and it's like, whoa. So in order to not screw that up, I don't want to be, concentrating on listening to something, until at least I get a little bit more confident with what I do and prove to myself that I can do it without screwing up, and then lend some of my brains something else. So, oh shit, 10 minutes. Okay, later.